Happy New Year, Happy New Month, and Happy New Week. What I'm sharing with you today is a free printable from Try It Like It Created, and it is the 2023 calendar. And so, what I have here is a full page calendar as well as a half page calendar. You can get a glimpse of what February is going to look like. We're going to go live every month and share with you not only the month that the calendar from that month, but then also a new product each month. And so this month we're taking a look at um, Mr. Pen 12 Gel Crayons. And so I want to share with you what comes in the box. Oh, and I should say that the free printable is over at Try It Like It Created. You can just look for the post and then download the calendar. And then we can color together. I won't finish the whole image during this live, but we'll get a good start on it. So back to the gel crayons. These are made by Mr. Pen, and I found them on Amazon. And just to show you what comes in the package, you're going to get not only the crayons, but it also comes with a little mustache sticker. Thank you for your purchase. And then if you follow this and use the QR code that's on here, and fill out the form, they will also send you some mustache paper clips. So you're getting two products when you're just paying for one. So let's begin by taking a look at what's in here. So what we have here are the 12 gel crayons, and they each fit into a little notch right up here. And so we have what I would call is the basic set, as well as a white. And I'm not sure if the white is for blending or if it's a true white, but we will take a look at that. The other thing I wanted to share with you is just to show you on a scrap piece of paper here is that they are extremely creamy. So this is what the crayon looks like, and you can rotate from the bottom to extend it. And there's quite a bit of crayon in here. So as it gets used, you can extend for more. And then if you go to draw with it, it is very creamy, very smooth. So let's just do this as a test first. And let's see if we can smudge the crayon. So so it is smudgeable. And then I also have a water pen here to see if I can get the cap off. And to see if it will work with water, because it says they're washable. So as a child's product, being able to wash it is nice to get it off of their clothing and so forth. But as an artist, being able to mix it with water, you can see here that we can get some really nice pale colors if we use a palette to mark on and then transfer the color, or if we just want to work right on top of where we drew, you can of course then work with that color with a water pen. So a couple different ways to use it would be direct color, to paint with it, or just to add water on top, or to smudge with it. And so I was going to use these on our January calendar here. And this is our image. And let me see if I can bring you down a little bit closer to the image itself and get you organized here. I may end up turning this around to get it in frame. All right. So I thought that what we could do today, before we do that, I wanted to see if the white was a blender or a true white, because we talked about that as well. So just to scribble some red on there, and then take the white and go on top. It looks like, yeah, it's blending nicely, but it also looks like I might be drawing. Let me just bring a dark color in and see. Yeah, it is a white crayon. So you could use it to blend, or you could use it on a dark background and color with white. Let's see what the colors look like on a dark background. So yeah, darker, of course, because we're on dark paper, but they also work on a darker background. So that's nice to see. Um, so back to our image. Let's pick a color palette out here so that we can work on this image. And I'm going to choose, let's go, we've got two yellows here. I'm not sure what the difference is between those. I've got white, I've got red. And let's go orange, and let's go with this pale green. And I think that's going to be enough colors. So just to test them out over here on the side, we're going to go, ooh, that is a neon yellow. That's interesting. Then we've got a traditional yellow, and we've got orange and red. I guess I don't need to put the caps on because we're going to be using these. And then let's see the green. Okay. And then we have the white. So yeah, I think, you know what, I'm going to swap out the fluorescent yellow for the darker green because I just don't see that color going well with the rest of these. So yeah, that will give us a darker, get that in frame for you. That will give us a darker image. So there, that's going to be our color palette. So to begin our coloring here, we're just going to choose, you know, what we want to do. And how I'm going to color is instead of going back and forth, which is, you know, a normal traditional way, I like to color in small circles. And then that way you can't see your strokes. So I'm just going to start here and go along and just kind of color in these leaf shapes as I'm going, and it's really smooth. Um, the tip of the crayon, you know, is thicker, so trying to get into small areas is going to be a little bit hard. But of course, we have the option to use, you know, a water pen or a water brush, sorry, with it, and um, that would help get into these smaller areas because I can see even with this leaf shape here. I am going outside the line because I can't really see underneath the big part of the crayon. So it is looking, at least to my eye, a little bit messier than what I had anticipated. But the color is really vibrant, and I am liking the intensity, I guess, of how rich the color is. And here I am saying that I'm going to color in circles, and I'm not. I'm actually drawing lines back and forth with it because, like I said, for coloring in a small area, this is really hard to see. So there's that. I don't need to take the lid. So let's do this. I'm going to do a water brush next. I'm going to go into my light green color that I have off to the side here. Add a little red on my brush, so that's going to alter the color some, but I'm just going to go into these smaller areas here using a water brush. And so in the comments below, sometime between today and let's do Wednesday at midnight, I'd love to hear from you as to which calendar size you prefer, the full page or the half page. And then from those comments, I will pick a winner and send you a pack of these Mr. Pen crayons. This is not being sponsored by them. I just went on Amazon and grabbed them. However, next month we will be having a sponsor, and I'll give you a heads up when that will go live, and we'll be working with watercolor pencils. So you'll definitely want to tune in then and make sure that you can grab those items. So I like these little dots out here. I think I'm going to make them red. And let's see if I can just kind of touch them with the crayon. I'm finding I like the control with the water brush a lot better. Crayons are nice if you have a large area to fill in, and they're, like I said, they're really, really smooth. The color is very intense. Um, Using the water brush, it wouldn't be quite as strong a color, but I really like the feel of these. Um, and I suppose, because they work with water, you could do some cleanup with water, maybe trying to remove some color or so forth. But and I've placed this in as an adult coloring calendar. However, the images are all going to be kind of mandala like themed at the top, and they don't have to be just adults. They can be for children as well. So here, oh, my tip is really changing and I'm going way outside the line. So that's something to be aware of. I think, yeah, I'm going to have to change up how I use these in the small spaces. So the water pen is going to definitely become our friend here, um, because I just don't see getting into some of these small areas like these dots here without the water pen. So even with that, I'm making a little flub up right there. All right, so I'm just going to clean off my pen on my scrap paper here and continue to grab the colors and color in. So, um, yeah, I don't know if you've used these before. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have used these crayons. And they are, like I said, they're gel crayons. So the application of them is extremely smooth. Almost like a gelato, I would say. But what a great price break difference for these. And when I'm done, I will put a link to Amazon where I got them. And um, you can also then make sure you leave a comment so that you can be entered to win. And I'm just going in and fixing these dots with the water where I've laid down the color and I'm just putting water on top of them. Um, so that also works well. And I can see it getting into the spaces I want where the crayon didn't get to. So that's a nice option too. Now the fun thing about coloring, you don't have to color the whole image. You can leave some black and white. Of course, with this calendar, I mean, if you just want it as a calendar and you don't want to color, you can just hang it up and you know use it as a calendar. Your other option would be if you do the coloring after the month is over, you cut the top off and use it in your crafting. This would be really nice on the front of a card, maybe, or in your scrapbook. All different kinds of ways to use these. So let me know what you think and um, how this is working out. I know you can't color live with me right now because you probably didn't even know that the file, existed. However, after watching here, you of course can go and grab it. The file is free for download, uh, so that could make for a really nice um, thing to do. Do it with friends. Do it with a group. Um, whatever works best, for you and your coloring. And coloring is a really relaxing activity. And it just kind of quiets you down and gets you focused into what you're doing. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be good at staying in the lines. Um, Especially if you're just doing it for yourself. It's not something that you need to share with anyone. Um, but you can, put on some nice music and enjoy your time and do a little coloring. So, hi, Maureen. I see that you're with us live, and if you would share with us which calendar you prefer, either a full page, which is the one I'm working on, or a half page, you could be entered into winning this set of gel crayons from um, Mr. Pen. And there's 12 colors in the pack, and I am using them with a water pen right now, but you can also color directly with the pen. The head of the pen is a little bit small, or excuse me, it's a little bit large, and that's what I'm finding is making it harder to get into some of these spaces where, a pencil, of course, would work really well. But this month we are working with the gel crayons, and next month we'll be working with watercolor pencils, and I can share that with you in just a moment. And we'll be doing the giveaway in February as well. Let me see if I can grab them. Here they are. Um, so yeah, so next month we'll be sponsored and from Yasatomo, and we'll be using this watercolor pencil set that has 36 colors in it, and we'll be giving one of these away in February. So make sure to come back next month to share with us and to enter to win those. So um, once again, for anybody who missed my comment, is that I'm giving away a free set of these Mr. Pen gel crayons. It's a pack of 12 gel crayons, and they work very similar to other gel pens that you may be familiar with. Trying to think of some, like a gelato would be similar. Um, I think Marabou also makes some gel crayons. These would be very similar to those products. So yeah, I am just grabbing the ink, and which I have scribbled off on another piece of paper here. So you can grab it from another surface. You can draw directly onto the paper and add water if you want or not. You can see here in the center, I don't know, maybe if I bring it up closer, you can see a little bit. Um, it's more like a tie-dye. The colors were wet and they kind of blended together. And so I've got like a tie-dye thing happening there in the center, which I find really interesting. And then I am just, using this water pen or water brush. I keep calling it a water pen, but it really is a brush. And I'm using that to mix with these colors I have over here on the side. Um, Going into them and picking up the color. In doing so, I'm going to get a much paler, lighter look, and I'm going to get more of that tie-dye look out here because I've got that red that's bleeding from where I tried coloring directly um, with the crayons. And so we're just going to go with it. We're going to keep grabbing some orange and let it blend with the red that's leaked out the side here. And once it's done, I think it'll look really neat. Um, if you Let's see, what did Maureen say here? Many coloring books, and if you apply the color directly to the page, then spread with after, does it leave a mark like watercolor pencils do. Well, here, I'll do that over here on the side because I'm not prepared to do that right at the moment. But so if you color and then you add your water pen over it, you can see where the original mark, and it's not really showing up here. Um, but if you keep blending and if you have a nice piece of paper, that original mark pretty much goes away. If you put the water down first, let's just do that, put the water down first and then mark on top of it, it's even smoother. And so what I have here is a scrap piece of paper, and I'm starting to see the tooth of the paper come through because it's really not made for using with water. Um, but yeah, it's different than a pencil. It's smoother than a pencil, I'd say. Um, so let me get this off of here and go back to my orange because I should have probably done the sample in orange because that's the color I was working with here. Um, so yeah, I'm blending orange together with the red that's kind of overshot these little circles, and so I'm getting a nice tie-dye look, I'd say. Just gonna get some more orange to work with here and go around. And so yeah, I enjoy coloring. I can't say that I'm I don't purchase a lot of um, adult coloring books. I tend to create images myself in color, or I like coloring in stamped images. But I thought it would be fun to create this coloring calendar because it has multiple uses so that not only do you have a calendar, which I do create a calendar every year for my viewers, but this year I thought it would be fun to do a little bit more interactive and create one that you can color in. So this is kind of a new attempt um, for the year, and hopefully others will enjoy using it. And like I said, you can hang this up without even coloring it. You could give it to your children to color for you. Um, and also, once you've done the coloring and used it for the month, um, you could then take your coloring off the top and craft with it. So you have multiple uses for your calendar. And as I said earlier on, it comes in two sizes. So you could print it out either as a full page or a half page, whichever you prefer, whichever fits in your space better. I wanted to be able to give you some options with sizing because not everybody's space is the same. And hopefully you can see that with the calendar, you have some nice space that you can also write into. And it comes with all the holidays. So you can see here it's got Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday on the 16th of January. So those are already pre-printed, preloaded on the calendar for you. And those are all US holidays. I grabbed a US calendar and kind of worked from there with the dates that were on it. So if you're not in the US, you'll have to add in your additional holidays, but you'll be notified of our holidays at least. Um, so I hope that doesn't deter you from using it. And if you just want to color and not use the calendar, by all means, when you go to the printout, you're going to get all 12 months. You don't have to wait to color in your months. You can color them in as you want, or if you want to cut them apart and use the calendar as a calendar and the coloring as coloring, you have the option to do and use it however you want. It's a free download. It's a blog post. And if I knew this going live technology well enough, I would add the link so that you can grab it. But I think I'm going to have to do that afterwards because this technology is new to me. And not doing video is not new, but however, going live um, is new to me, and so I'll have to learn step by step, how to do those things and add those things, um, and maybe get some help um, in doing these lives. So, Maureen, you're in Virginia. I am in Indiana, so you get our weather after we have it. Um, so, yeah, we're really warm right now, which is nice. And you're probably a little further south, being in Virginia. I am in the middle of Indiana. So, oh, nice. You're sewing. And so you can come back for the link. That's wonderful. Yeah. Um, that makes me want to pull out my sewing machine. um, trying to decide here what colors I'm going to work with next. I think I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do? I am just going to color all of this in yellow here, and then I'm going to blend, and I'm just doing it roughly because I'm going to go over it with water, and then I am going to grab another color to blend with it on top so I get those alternating shapes. So yeah, um, I love the feel of these gel crayons. It's just so smooth. It reminds me kind of like lipstick. Um, so yeah, and you can see as it, hopefully you can see here, as it wears down, the point changes. And so you could probably even sharpen them to be a certain point, if you wanted to, that could work. So here I have just roughly laid down some color, and now I'm going over it with water to blend. And I honestly thought that this live would be just coloring, but as I said early on, the tip of the crayons were thick and I couldn't see what I was doing. And so um, I'm glad I grabbed the water brush so that I have more control over where the color goes. Because I was disappointed with how the color um, was going, beyond where I wanted it to be. But this is working out really well, and I'm really happy with um, the result and how it's working. And um, before sitting down and using them, I wasn't sure even if I was going to like them. They were new to me, and I wanted to share that newness with you as the viewers and give you my opinion of what I thought. And I am really enjoying using these. So, yeah, I can see where this would be really enjoyable. So, yellow, let's see, yellow. I'm going to add the green back in with the yellow. So, I'm going to add these back into the centers here, trying to find the center of each of these so I can go every other color. And then I'm going to blend those greens back in. And I really like the feel, the texture. I mean, if you're a tactile person, um, you may like how this just glides on the paper. And what I've printed out on here today is just a heavier copy paper. It's not anything special. It's just, um, I don't know if I'd even call it, it's a really light cardstock, if you will. And it's accepting the color well, and it's also accepting the water. I am seeing a little bit of buckling. I'm okay with it. Doesn't bother me. And I'm just, having fun here doing this. So, okay, now we're going to blend the green and the yellow together. and adding more water on top of all of this, I am starting to pick up a little pilling of paper. So I think I've hit the maximum of what I can do here on this paper. So, I mean, if you print out on watercolor paper, you could probably take this technique even further. But I'm liking how fast this is coming together. It's, you know, I really didn't think I'd even get this far in the time that I have to be here with you. So if you're just tuning in, or for those who are watching this recorded later, don't forget to comment which size calendar you prefer, either a full page, which is the one I'm working on right now, or a half page. And the calendar is available for free over on my website. Try it like it created. It's tryit-likeit.com. And you can download the free file, whether you want the half page calendar or the full page calendar. And with the download, you'll get the entire year in PDF form, and you can print it out however you would like. And then if you comment here before Wednesday at midnight, either on Facebook or on YouTube, which size calendar you like or prefer to use, then you'll be entered to win a set of these Mr. Pen Gel Crayons that I'll send out to you. Once again, I am not being sponsored during this video. This is all my purchase. So just let you know. However, next month we will be sponsored, and we'll be doing watercolor pencils for the month of February. And I'm not sure what time of day is best to go live. I don't know if, during the daytime is good for people. I know today is probably a holiday, so there's more people at home. But typically, people would be working at this time and not able to view. So I don't know if daytime is best and you can just catch a review of it, or if you would prefer, an evening. So there are options to consider for me as well. So I would love to know what you would prefer, if you want to leave me a comment about that. So here I'm going to continue on with that same technique of just kind of dotting the color onto the page and then filling in those dots. And I'm doing the dots first, and then I'll go back in and do the background. And I probably should change it up and do the background and then come in and dot the dots. But all right, so I'm just squeezing out a little bit more water to make sure I can fill in these spaces. And I'm getting a really nice coverage. It's a slightly blended. I mean, if you get right on top of this, you can see that there are lights and darks in these little teeny dots. But for the most part, it's just solid color. And I have gone outside with the crayon here, so whatever background color I put on here, it's gonna blend in with that red. So, well, Maureen, I'm glad you're spending some time with me here. I hope we get a few more people to join in. And like I said, this is the first live, so hopefully we'll build an audience as time goes on. The other thing I like about this water brush is that I don't have to change my brush, or really even clean a brush. to use different colors. I just, wipe it off on a scrap paper here, and that's working out really, really well. So, yeah, I put down the scrap paper because I wanted to do a little testing first before we went right into color, but I also wanted to block out my glass craft mat so it didn't give us too much glare on the page or on the screen. I have this large work surface here that is glass, and it does glare quite a bit with my lights. So um, that is something I have to consider every time I do a video. So to this point, I haven't really mixed colors together except where they have overlapped onto the page. Um, but yeah, I could see where even making new colors by blending them together. Um, so let's do that. I'm going to color a red here, and I am going to let's do a yellow next to it. I don't want to do green because those are opposites on the color wheel, and that's going to make mud. So I'm just going to make sure I have water here, and I'm going to make, it's more of a peachy color, it looks like. And I think if I add a little more yellow in, I can even get it to be more peach-like, and hopefully different than just the orange crayon. So let's see how this looks. It is pale, and I'm trying to look at my computer screen as I'm coloring, and I gave myself a nice little blob of color where I didn't want it, but that's okay. We'll just go over it with something. So yeah, I'm working with a limited color palette here, so I don't have a ton of colors to choose from, and so I'm starting to create some color, and I'm going to do the same thing with green and yellow. Add a little water, and so now we have this light green, which is very yellow based. It's looking very much like out here in a more pale version when I colored the green on top of the yellow. This outer ring here, I'd like to get a more intense color. I have a dark green, which I haven't really done much with. It was sitting off to the side here, so let me go into it, and we'll do a inner ring with it. So yeah, the colors that we're using today are rather spring-like, even though it's January calendar. Probably should have gone with some cooler colors, but I don't know, if it's dark and gray out like it is here, using these brighter colors can be uplifting, I'll say. So there, yeah, it's coming along quickly, and I've only been at it for like maybe a half hour, I guess. So I'm gonna clean off my scrap paper over here is getting quite used, I guess I'll say. Um, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next with these outer shapes. Let's see. Running out of ideas with a limited palette. Okay, we're going to do green, which I know is going to be dark, but I'm going to go ahead and just paint in all of this green. And I am grabbing the color off of my scrap page. I suppose if I colored on like a paint palette, that I could grab more color, which, you know what, my glass mat, let me see if I can get in here so you can see it. If I do right here, maybe you can see. If I color on my glass mat, I can pick up more of that color. And let's see what that looks like. So yeah, it's giving me a little bit brighter transfer. And so I could see, yeah, working on a palette instead of scrap paper would be a really nice thing. So I'm just gonna, once I've got some water down, it's a little bit harder to add color onto my glass mat, but for the initial draw, that worked. I'm just turning stuff around so I can get in here. I have to say, with the weather being really dark out, I am not a fan of really dark days. I don't like really hot days either. So I do like fall. I do like spring. Those are kind of my favorite days, and so maybe I should be more of a California girl because they have more neutral weather. Um, that's where my in-laws are, so I do get to go to California every once in a while. So now I'm just adding in some shading here in these side kind of leafy shapes instead of doing alternate colors. I'm just doing some shading around the side. And I like how that looks. Adding a little bit of depth, a little bit of difference to what's going on here. And of course, it's not perfect by any means. But yeah, it's coming around to being finished. So I think I like that idea that worked there. So I think I'm going to do the same thing here with the yellow. I don't know, might come across as being lazy by coloring in large areas with color, but I'm not really intending that. I am just liking doing that shading technique here. So make sure I get there. All right, so just squeeze out a little water, make sure my brush doesn't have any residual green. And I'm just going in and spreading out the color that I just kind of doodled on top here. So this has been really fun. I've actually enjoyed my time here doing this and adding in this coloring. I feel very relaxed, very peaceful. It's interesting to create and talk through the entire time, which is funny to me because I'm not much of a talker. I'm more of a sit back and watch type of person. So Yeah, to be able to sit here and talk for an hour um, is surprising to me that I've come up with enough to say to fill the time. So I'm going in and doing this shading technique here with the orange. I got a little too much orange on that one, but I'll just move it over here. And these colors are blending really well. I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but you can see here that I'm putting color on top of color and with water, and it's doing a really nice subtle blend. I could do more intense uh, if desired, I think, and by putting the crayon directly onto the paper. So there, and I think, let's see, I need to introduce some red. So I think these outer ones right here, I'm going to do red, and then the bands that go around them, we'll have to come up with a color for that. But I know I want some red out here. So there, and I'll just all right, so I'm just gonna spread out the red here, and I'm off camera. There we go. Okay, I'm spreading the red in this outer area here, and then I've got the bands to do, and it'll be finished. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that I was able to get this accomplished in the time here. Let's see, where's my next red on this side over here? And I am just so pleased with this product. I can see using it for a lot of different applications. And in these, there may be other ways to use it. I'm just kind of brainstorming here of a few things that we've used it for. I did do a video with Marabou crayons where I colored. This is going to sound really detailed. I colored on an embossing plate, added water, so it was really watered down. And then I smushed it onto a piece of paper, ran the whole thing through a press, and it kind of splattered the color out all over, which is really interesting. And I liked the look of that. So let's see, one last color here. What should I do? I think we're going to do green because we've got an intense green here in the middle. So I'm going to add some out here to unify it. And I'm going to go with the darker green. I was going to go with the lighter green, but I think the darker green will look nice here between, very Christmassy, I guess. But I think it will look nice between the red and the yellow. And then some of these like smaller areas, like right here, I'm going to color that in, and right over here, I'm going to color that in with green, but I am going to, once my brush is saturated with green from coloring here, I will just move some excess over there instead of trying to get the crayon into that space because, yeah, it's, like I said, the crayon marking is kind of large for detailed work. So, but if you wanted to lay down bright, bold color. I could see doing that like on a canvas, you know, a larger canvas with these crayons. That would be real yummy looking, I bet. And then you could add water onto that canvas and see where it goes. You could even, you know, even do like a spray bottle and let the colors run. That could be interesting as well. And then um, I'm assuming that once this is dry, you could go back over it, you know, with uh, what am I trying to say? A black pen, so you could draw on top of the areas that you colored. So, oh, more ideas, I guess. Yeah, that would be fun to just play and be. Not that I'm not playing right now. I am, but um, kind of a more messy play on a canvas, a larger scale, could be really enjoyable, I think. So it's been fun taking what I would consider a kid's product and using it with adult coloring. Um, and I'm really pleased with how this is turning out because, you know, some alternative products are really expensive, and these were not very expensive at all. So that's really nice. And I'm just going to darken up some of this red out here. Uh, Trying to think and color what I'm doing at the same time. Okay, so yeah, um, other products are more expensive, work very similarly to what I'm doing here, and these are not as expensive, and they blend and they smear, and you can use them with water, obviously, because that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I really like them. You know, I found some at Five Below from a company, and I just fell in love with them. They were crayon like just like this in gel, and the company went out of business before I could even share online that they existed. So that's kind of sad. And now I'm just playing by going in and shading, adding some reds on top of these little yellow areas. Um, so yeah, I'm probably pushing it a little too far with the water and color on the paper, but like I said, it's fun. This is really fun to blend these colors. And you know, I tend to be more of a messy artist. I really like, which might be weird because I'm a graphic designer, which is more uh, precise in what we do as a designer. But I really like kind of being messy. It kind of brings me back to my graduate days in graduate school. Just, you know, experimenting and trying and learning new things. I just really loved that whole experience of just being in the studio every day and just creating without having to do anything else with my life. Glad that my graduate school experience was like that. I know a lot of people who go to graduate school who have to work or, you know, have families to take care of on top of it. I was really blessed to be able to just go to graduate school. And I'll say that for the first time. Second time I was married. So um, I did have a husband when I went to graduate school. I did that one part time. So um, yeah, there we have it. Okay, I'm going to call this finished, and it's a little bit short of an hour. But just to recap, what we're using here are the 12 gel crayons from Mr. Pen. They are a soft gel crayon. They have brilliant color and easy blending, perfect for beginners, for adults, and children. And like I said, when I purchased them, it came with a little code inside, and I scanned it and went to their website, and they are sending me a set of free mustache paper clips. So 2 products for less than $10 is really nice. Um, and I really like how these work. And it says they're a sleek gel pen. They're made by Mr. Pen. And if you twist the end, and I never twist the right way because I'm left-handed, but if you twist the end here, it will extend the crayon. I'm not getting it to do it right now, but it does do it. I know it does do it. I've already tried it with another one. But like I said, I'm left-handed, so I tend to do them the wrong direction. But there, I don't want it to break off, but I want to show you how much crayon there is in here. There's quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to stop there because, like I said, I don't want it to break off on me. But there's a lot of product here, and it's going to go a long way. And it does wear down quickly, unlike other crayons, like waxy crayons that they do take a lot of hard coloring and a lot of hard pressure to to start to wear. That is not the case with these. They wear down right as you use them. So keep that in mind and go over to my website and grab the free calendar coloring and come color with me next month for February, and also leave me a comment here telling me which size calendar you prefer. Do you prefer the full page, which is this, all right, or a half page, which prints out with 2 months, so you can see that February we're going to be coloring with some heart shapes. They're all mandalas at the tops of the calendars. So they're full images that you can color whatever way you want. So it's going to be very unique to you, and yours is going to look different from mine and from anybody else's who does it. But you can then color your own calendar and then put it up and show off your work for the month. And if you go and tell me either here, I'm stumbling over my words as I finish this up. If you tell me here whether you like the full page calendar or the half page calendar before Wednesday at midnight, then I will pick a random person and send them a free set of the Mr. Pen 12 gel crayons. And so this is what the pack looks like. This is what you will get if you win the giveaway. So don't forget to comment which size calendar you prefer. And of course, I would love for you to go and download that calendar as well so that you can enjoy coloring for yourself, and then also join me next month in February. And we will color again using watercolor pencils. And also, if you would be so kind to let me know what you prefer to do a live or to view a live. Do you like watching them recorded? Do you like being here live and talking with me? And what time of the day you prefer? Is that daytime or evening? I know today is my first one, and it's a holiday. A lot of people are off work today. So I know that, daytime may not be so conducive for other people. But if you could let me know in the comments all that information, that would help me with future videos and going live. So hopefully I get better at this as I do it each month. And I just thank you for watching and spending some time with me. Bye.